The property of a transaction that persists all the crashes is A. Atomicity, B. Durability, C. Isolation, D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer B. Durability. After a transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made to the database persist, even if there are system failures. In SQL, which command is used to issue multiple create table, create view and grant statements in a single transaction? A. Create package, B. Create schema, C. Create cluster, D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer B. Create schema. A database schema of a database system is its structure described in a formal language supported by the database management system and refers to the organization of data as a blueprint of how a database is constructed. The SQL statement select substring from employee prints A. 6, 7, 8, 9, B. 2, 3, 4, 5, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, D. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct answer B. 2, 3, 4, 5. Substring are used to match the particular characters in a string. A lock that allows concurrent transactions to access different rows of the same table is known as A. Database level lock, B. Table level lock, C. Page level lock, D. Row level lock. Correct answer D. Row level lock. Locks are used to maintain database consistency. B. Linked tree requires a pointer to its dash sibling. A. Upper, B. Lower, C. Right, D. Left. Correct answer C. Right. This pointer is required because a lookup that occurs while a node is being split may have to search not only that node but also that node's right sibling. The deadlock can be handled by A. Removing the nodes that are deadlocked, B. Restarting the search after releasing the lock, C. Restarting the search without releasing the lock, D. Resuming the search. Correct answer B. Restarting the search after releasing the lock. Dbms periodically suspends all processing and synchronizes its files and journals through the use of A. Checkpoint facility, B. Backup facility, C. Recovery manager, D. Database change log. Correct answer A. Checkpoint facility. Dbms periodically suspends all processing and synchronizes its files and journals through the use of checkpoint facility. SQL can be used to A. Create database structures only, B. Query database data only, C. Modify database data only, D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer D. All of the mentioned. In a concurrent execution of these transactions, it is intuitively clear that they conflict, but this is a conflict not captured by our simple model. This situation is referred to as the phantom phenomenon, because a conflict may exist on phantom data. The dash requires that each transaction T executes in 2 or 3 different phases in its lifetime, depending on whether it is a read-only or an update transaction. A. Validation protocol, B. Validation-based protocol, C. Timestamp protocol, D. Timestamp ordering protocol. Correct answer A. Validation protocol. A concurrency control scheme imposes the overhead of code execution and possible delay of transactions. It may be better to use an alternative scheme that imposes less overhead. Snapshot is used for DBA. A. Synonym, B. Table space, C. System server, D. Dynamic data replication. Correct answer, D. Dynamic data replication. Snapshot gets the instance of the database at that time. To delete a database dash command is used. A. Delete database underscore name. B. Delete database underscore name. C. Drop database underscore name. D. Drop database underscore name. Correct answer, C. Drop database underscore name. This will delete the database with its structure. Which of the following is not a state in transaction? A. Active. B. Terminated. C. Aborted. D. Partially committed. Correct answer, B. Terminated. The transaction states are abort, active, committed, partially committed, failed. By default, SQL server has dash isolation level. A. Read committed. B. Read uncommitted. C. Serializable. D. Repeatable read. Correct answer, A. Read committed. Read committed is used to commit the default read operation. Dash denotes the largest timestamp of any transaction that executed write Q successfully. A. Write timestamp Q. B. Read timestamp Q. C. Read write timestamp Q. D. Write read timestamp Q. Correct answer, A. Write timestamp Q. If a node is locked in an intention mode, explicit locking is done at a lower level of the tree. This is called A. Intention lock modes. B. Explicit lock. C. Implicit lock. D. Exclusive lock. Correct answer, A. Intention lock modes. There is an intention mode associated with shared mode, and there is one with an exclusive mode. Selecting the victim to be rolled back to the previous state is determined by the minimum cost. The factors determining cost of rollback is A. How long the transaction has computed, and how much longer the transaction will compute before it completes its designated task. B. How many data items the transaction has used. C. How many more data items the transaction needs for it to complete. D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer, D. All of the mentioned. We should roll back those transactions that will incur the minimum cost. A condition that occurs when two transactions wait for each other to unlock data is known as a OR and. A. Shared lock. B. Exclusive lock. C. Binary lock. D. Deadlock. Correct answer, D. Deadlock. Deadlock occurs when two transactions wait for each other to unlock data. Which of the following is the oldest database model? A. Relational. B. Hierarchical. C. Physical. D. Network. Correct answer, D. Network. Network model has data stored in a hierarchical network flow. SDL means dash. A. Storage discrete language. B. Storage definition language. C. Storage definition localization. D. Storage discrete localization. Correct answer, B. Storage definition language. It specifies internal schema and also mapping between two schemas. The storage structure which do not survive system crashes are dash. A. Volatile storage. B. Non-volatile storage. C. Stable storage. D. Dynamic storage. Correct answer, A. Volatile storage. Volatile storage is a computer memory that requires power to maintain the stored information. In other words, it needs power to reach the computer memory. The deadlock in a set of a transaction can be determined by A. Read-only graph. B. Wait graph. C. Wait for graph. D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer A. Read-only graph. Each transaction involved in the cycle is said to be deadlocked. When transaction T requests a data item currently held by Tj, T is allowed to wait only if it has a timestamp larger than that of Tj, that is, T is younger than Tj. Otherwise, Tj is rolled back, Tj is wounded by T. This is A. Wait die. B. Wait wound. C. Wound wait. D. Wait. Correct answer C. Wound wait. The wound wait scheme is a preemptive technique. It is a counterpart to the wait die scheme. Which of the following is a procedure for acquiring the necessary locks for a transaction where all necessary locks are acquired before any are released? A. Record controller. B. Exclusive lock. C. Authorization rule. D. Two-phase lock. Correct answer D. Two-phase lock. Two-phase lock is a procedure for acquiring the necessary locks for a transaction where all necessary locks are acquired before any are released. Which of the following SQL command can be used to modify existing data in a database table? A. Modify. B. Update. C. Change. D. New. Correct answer B. Update. Syntax update table underscore name. Set column 1 equals value etc. Where some column equals some value. What are the different events in triggers? A. Define and create. B. Drop and comment. C. Insert, update and delete. D. Select and commit. Correct answer C. Insert, update and delete. A database trigger is a procedural code that is automatically executed in response to certain events on a particular table or view in a database. The Oracle Dbms uses the dash statement to declare a new transaction start and its properties. A. Begin. B. Set transaction. C. Begin transaction. D. Commit. Correct answer B. Set transaction. Commit is used to store all the transactions, which refers to a property of computer to run several operations simultaneously and possible as computers await response of each other. A. Concurrency. B. Deadlock. C. Backup. D. Recovery. Correct answer A. Concurrency. Concurrency is a property of systems in which several computations are executing simultaneously and potentially interacting with each other. Which of the following protocols ensures conflict serializability and safety from deadlocks? A. Two-phase locking protocol. B. Timestamp ordering protocol. C. Graph-based protocol. D. None of the mentioned. Correct answer B. Timestamp ordering protocol. Timestamp ordering protocol ensures conflict serializability and safety from deadlocks. In order to maintain transactional integrity and database consistency, what technology does a Dbms deploy? A. Triggers. B. Pointers. C. Locks. D. Cursors. Correct answer C. Locks. Locks are used to maintain database consistency. Which of the following is the original purpose of SQL? A. To specify the syntax and semantics of SQL data definition language. B. To specify the syntax and semantics of SQL manipulation language. C. To define the data structures. D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer D. All of the mentioned. Problems occurs if we don't implement a proper locking strategy. A. Dirty reads. B. Phantom reads. C. Lost updates. D. Unrepeatable reads. Correct answer D. Unrepeatable reads. In a concurrent execution of these transactions, it is intuitively clear that they conflict, but this is a conflict not captured by our simple model. This situation is referred to as the phantom phenomenon, because a conflict may exist on phantom data. Dash allows individual row operation to be performed on a given result set or on the generated by a selected statement. A. Procedure. B. Trigger. C. Cursor. D. None of the mentioned. Correct answer C. Cursor. Dbms periodically suspends all processing and synchronizes its files and journals through the use of A. Checkpoint facility. B. Backup facility. C. Recovery manager. D. Database change log. Correct answer A. Checkpoint facility. Dbms periodically suspends all processing and synchronizes its files and journals through the use of checkpoint facility. Each modification done in database transaction are first recorded into the A. hard drive. B. log. C. disk. D. data mart. Correct answer B. log. After commit is issued, the data are stored in a database and stored in drive. Instead of locking index leaf nodes in a two-phase manner, some index concurrency control schemes use dash on individual key values, allowing other key values to be inserted or deleted from the same leaf. A. B plus tree locking. B. Link level locking. C. Key value locking. D. Next value locking. Correct answer C. Key value locking. Key value locking thus provides increased concurrency in crabbing protocol locking. A. Goes down the tree and back up. B. Goes up the tree and back down. C. Goes down the tree and releases. D. Goes up the tree and releases. Correct answer A. Goes down the tree and back up. It moves in a crab-like manner. The extent of the database resource that is included with each lock is called the level of A. Impact. B. Granularity. C. Management. D. Dbms control. Correct answer B. Granularity. The extent of the database resource that is included with each lock is called the level of granularity. Dash means that data used during the execution of a transaction cannot be used by a second transaction until the first one is completed. A. Serializability. B. Atomicity. C. Isolation. D. Timestamping. Correct answer C. Isolation. Isolation means that data used during the execution of a transaction can't be used by a second transaction until the first one is completed. Dash provides option for entering SQL queries as execution time rather than at the development stage. A. PL-SQL. B. SQL star plus. C. SQL. D. Dynamic SQL. Correct answer D. Dynamic SQL. Dynamic SQL enables you to write programs that reference SQL statements whose full text is not known until runtime. Which of the following is true for the system variable $date? A. Can be assigned to a global variable. B. Can be assigned to any field only during design time. C. Can be assigned to any variable or field during runtime. D. Can be assigned to a local variable. Correct answer B. Can be assigned to any field only during design time. A database schema of a database system is its structure described in a formal language supported by the database management system and refers to the organization of data as a blueprint of how a database is constructed. The most recent version of standard SQL prescribed by the American National Standards Institute is A. SQL 2016, B. SQL 2002, C. SQL 4, D. SQL 2. Correct answer A. SQL 2016. SQL 2016 is the most recent version of standard SQL prescribed by the ANSI. This validation scheme is called the dash scheme since transactions execute optimistically, assuming they will be able to finish execution and validate at the end. A. Validation protocol. B. Validation-based protocol. C. Timestamp protocol. D. Optimistic concurrency control. Correct answer A. Validation protocol. A concurrency control scheme imposes the overhead of code execution and possible delay of transactions. It may be better to use an alternative scheme that imposes less overhead. In a database, the file is contained in dash A. Entire database. B. 2 area. C. 1 area. D. More than 1 area. Correct answer C. 1 area. This level is below the root of the tree. When transaction T requests a data item currently held by Tj, T is allowed to wait only if it has a timestamp smaller than that of Tj, that is, T is older than Tj. Otherwise, T is rolled back, dies. This is A. Wait die. B. Wait wound. C. Wound wait. D. Wait. Correct answer A. Wait die. The wait die scheme is a non-preemptive technique. All lock information is managed by a dash, which is responsible for assigning and policing the locks used by the transactions. A. Scheduler. B. Dbms. C. Lock manager. D. Locking agent. Correct answer C. Lock manager. A distributed lock manager, DLM, provides distributed software applications with a means to synchronize their accesses to shared resources. Which of the following is the block that is not permitted to be written back to the disk? A. Dead code. B. Read only. C. Pinned. D. Zapped. Correct answer C. Pinned. A block that is not permitted to be written back to the disk is called pinned. Which character function can be used to return a specified portion of a character string? A. InStr. B. Substring. C. SubStr. D. POS. Correct answer C. SubStr. SubStr are used to match the particular characters in a string. Dash means that the data used during the execution of a transaction cannot be used by a second transaction until the first one is completed. A. Consistency. B. Atomicity. C. Durability. D. Isolation. Correct answer D. Isolation. Even though multiple transactions may execute concurrently, the system guarantees that for every pair of transactions T and Tj, it appears to T that either Tj finished execution before T started or Tj started execution after T finished. A transaction is delimited by statements or function calls of the form dash A. Begin transaction and end transaction. B. Start transaction and stop transaction. C. Get transaction and post transaction. D. Read transaction and write transaction. Correct answer A. Begin transaction and end transaction. The transaction consists of all operations executed between the begin transaction and end transaction. Constraint checking can be disabled in existing dash and dash constraints so that any data you modify or add to the table is not checked against the constraint. A. Check and foreign key. B. Delete and foreign key. C. Check and primary key. D. Primary key and foreign key. Correct answer A. Check and foreign key. Check and foreign constraints are used to constrain the table data.